What's going on, y'all, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving Thursday. We got football on right now. We got the Houston Texans. I'm pretty sure they're leading the Detroit Lions right now. I watched a bit of the game at the beginning. Last time I checked, Houston was winning. I got my Clowney jersey on. Obviously, that's the reason I have a Texans jersey. If you have watched the channel before, you'll know I'm a big Bears fan. But it's rivalry week for the Gamecocks, baby. We played Georgia. And just before we even get started on that, if you are as thankful as I am that we have football this year, on this Thanksgiving Thursday, drop a like down below and drop a comment. Drop a happy Thanksgiving down below in the comment section, because football is definitely something I'm very thankful for this year, because in a year where there's so much going on, football was something that gave a lot of us hope, I'm pretty sure, and it's something that I feel like definitely a bunch of you are thankful for this year. So definitely drop a like down below and drop a happy Thanksgiving in the comments. But it's rivalry week for the Gamecocks. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Black Friday's tomorrow. And then after that, we got big rivalry Saturday in college football. Obviously, you're not going to have the South Carolina Clemson game. This is our Clemson game this year. Obviously, 2020 has ruined that. This is the Iron Bowl game week. Egg Bowls this weekend. We have Missouri, Arkansas. We have Texas A&M, LSU. And then Florida, Kentucky's a makeshift one. We still have Tennessee, Vanderbilt. But since Florida usually plays Florida State, Georgia usually plays Georgia Tech, we play Clemson, and Kentucky plays Louisville, and we can't cross over with the ACC. That's what we have to do this year. We have to go and play our border rival in Georgia this year. It's going to be exciting nonetheless. We all know what happened last year. The Gamecocks go into Sanford Stadium and win out in double overtime because Hot Rod missed the last second overtime field goal. Boy, was I happy after that game. That was one of the best feelings ever in the world when he sailed that kick. I got emotional. I'm not even going to lie. That was a very, very good game for me to watch. And after that game from that season, after Izzy picks Jake Fromm off 3 times, the whole season just went downhill from there. We had a very good first half against Florida after that game and the next game. And then after that third quarter against Florida, the whole season just dipped. We end up losing to Florida. Then after that, we lose to Tennessee. We lose to App State. We beat Vanderbilt, but then we lose to Texas A&M and we lose to Clemson. Not a good end to the season, but can we go back-to-back versus Georgia? And that's what I'm here to talk about today. This is my preview for how the Gamecocks are going to do versus Georgia this week. Recap on last game. We did lose, yes, 17-10, but I think that this was the biggest takeaway game out of all the games in the season, even more than maybe the Auburn game. Yes, we did look good in the Auburn game, but what did that lead to? That just led to a loss versus LSU. I think what we saw in that Auburn game is we saw the Gamecocks at the absolute best, and we got Auburn at the absolute worst time. They were not playing good football at that time, and we just turned the corner, and we played a really good game of football that day. That's no discredit to the guys on our team. Obviously, if you go out there and play your best, you're going to be put in a position to win the game most of the time, but I think we just got Auburn in a good spot where they were playing really bad. But I really like where we're at after this game. Yes, we have all the opt-outs. We have JC, we have Izzy, we have RJ all opt out. We have tons of injuries. We have Nick Muse, I'm pretty sure, is injured. Shy Smith is injured. Who else was injured? There's a bunch of other guys who are injured. Like, we're really beat up. But I think all we need to do, we have to do the exact same thing that we did last year and just go out there and play our hearts out. Like, it's going to take the 22 guys who have the most heart and are willing to play the hardest in this game to win. That's what it took last year. You saw we just played with more energy. We played with more physicality. We played with more everything than Georgia last year. And that's the main reason why we won. We recruit Georgia like crazy. A bunch of these players on these teams did probably go to high school together. Not probably. They did go to high school together. They played against each other in high school. So there's that cross-border rivalry kind of there. Those guys that already were from Georgia and those guys that went to Georgia from Georgia, they all know each other. This is going to be very, very heated rivalry because these players know each other, and there's some interstate just like rivalry in there that you don't normally see because this is a whole high school thing. This is a whole recruiting battle thing. So it's very interesting and just provides more juice for the Gamecocks in this game. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, a big storyline in this game is who's going to be the starter. I predict nonetheless it's going to be Luke Doty. You put him in for the second half against Missouri. Yes, he does go in and score 10 points. He looked the best. In my opinion, he gives us the best chance to win a football game right now because of his ability is to escape the pocket and turn plays that would have been -8, -10 yard sacks for Colin Hill into 5-yard gains, into 8-yard gains, into 10-yard gains, into 15+ yard gains. Like, you don't understand how much that actually helps you until you see it on the field, and we saw that with Luke Doty, no question about it. Like, we had some situations where Colin Hill was a goner if he was in there. Luke Doty goes and rushes for like 20 yards or something like that and is able to keep the chains moving. It's just so much of a difference when you're able to have a guy like that. Obviously, Luke Doty, the arm was not great at all last Saturday. He oversailed a bunch of throws and everything. He was able to connect on the short ones, but the deep ball was definitely an issue, and I think that we all recognize that. But that's not the main problem, in my opinion. It's his first SEC game ever that he gets to go in for. That was his second throw ever. Like, we only let him throw the ball one other time in the whole season. That was his first real game in the SEC. This is going to be his first start. The throwing is going to come. If you keep getting him reps into an SEC game, if you keep getting him in practice, getting him connected with these receivers more. I know our receiving core is really beat up, and they definitely got to help him in this game. Luke Doty is going to be something special. If he could work on his arm, if he could start hitting those deep ball throws, I think for this game to be successful, we don't need Luke Doty to make every single pass downfield. We don't need him to throw 100% on 20+ yard balls. I would just like 50%, maybe hit 2 or 3 or something like that. We need those big chunk plays in this game. No question about it. We need some big plays because all this short stuff, as much as it's nice to have nice long drives and everything, and it takes time off the clock and it keeps your defense rested, against a Georgia team who is probably going to score on offense now because our defense is really beat up, even though we did hold Missouri to no points in the second half. Georgia does have JT Daniels coming in. It's going to be his second SEC game. He played very well last game, and our secondary is beat up, and that's what's going to get picked on all game. We're going to need to score fast at some points. There's going to be no time at some points in this game where we're going to be able to go and have a 7-yard drive. We need to be able to score fast. You saw that kind of in the game last week. We always leave it to the last minute and try to like make our defense make a crucial stop, which they did. Doty just throws a really bad pick, and again, it's first SEC game. Don't blame him for that. Obviously, you'd like to read the linebacker more. I'm pretty sure that's who read that play. Just threw it right to him. He didn't see him. He was trying to hit a crossing right to Jalen Brooks, I'm pretty sure, over the middle of the field. Or is Josh Van. You don't see the linebacker if the ball was thrown right to him. That's a mistake that you're going to make as a freshman. That's things that you're going to learn on. I'd rather him make mistakes now and learn from them in a season that's pretty much already a wash. The COVID season for us was a wash. I can't remember. After the Texas A&M game, even after the LSU game, everything just looked down. Make the mistakes now, but learn for it. I love getting him in for experience to see him progress into his sophomore year. Well, technically his freshman year because you get an extra year of eligibility now. You get his sophomore year, then his junior year, then his senior year. If you get him constant reps in the SEC, he's going to grow and he's going to start being able to hit these passes downfield. So take your shots with the deep ball. I love Mike Bobo's play calling aggressiveness last week. Even though Luke wasn't connecting them on them all the time, Bobo still went for them. And I'd rather watch you miss 50 deep balls down the field than keep throwing wide receiver screens and stuff and 3-yard checkdowns and everything like that. It's just more exciting for us fans to watch. And you're going to get successful at some point. You're not going to go out there and miss every single deep ball you throw. I can't stand I can't stand wide receiver screen. I don't think that it's just not what elite college football teams do. I don't think that they run the wide receiver screen as much as we do. If you look at a team like LSU from last year, why they were so successful was obviously one, deep ball. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Marshall were all huge deep ball threats. But the ability to attack the middle of the field with guys like Jefferson, guys like Thaddeus Moss, guys like Marshall, guys like Jamar Chase, they were not afraid to hit the middle of the field. And that just opens up those passing lanes down the field, down the sidelines for guys like Jamar Chase later in the game. When you have the linebackers and the safeties focused on the middle of the field because you're constantly going back there, that opens up the field so much more. And I think that's key for the Gamecocks. If we could start playing offense like an elite team, obviously we're not at that level yet, but if we could start getting a taste for what that's like in this offense here, if Luke Doty can make some big throws, not be afraid to target the middle of the field, and actually we keep going for throws that are 10+ yards, something like that, and not these like little 2-yard, 3-yard completions, I think the Gamecocks have a chance to be successful in this game. Defense, obviously, we got to win the turnover battle again. Georgia has a very good defense. They're going to make our offense make some quick decisions. So we're going to need to do the same thing to Georgia's offense. Get pressure on JT Daniels. I know sacks have been very limited this year. It doesn't matter. Get pressure on JT Daniels. Someone just put the guys who want to play the hardest, the guys who are going to go and just smash that offensive line, because Georgia has a very good offensive line. You want the guys who are going to be able to get past them and the guys who are just going to go out there and give it 110% to try to get to that quarterback every single snap. Got to get pressure on him. Win the turnover battle. I don't know if that's forcing fumbles. I don't know if that's having another 3-pick game from maybe Cam Smith or Dickerson or something like that. We need to win the turnover battle. It may not have to be as extreme. It may have to be. We might have to go +3 again against Georgia in the turnover battle. But we still got to win it somehow. There has to be some way for us to win the turnover battle and get the ball back into our offense's hands. Limit the rushing game. The rushing game for them was really weak last week. They had Zamir White only rushed for like 28 yards or something like that. We can limit the rushing game. It's taken away the passing game that is going to be really crucial in this game. If we're able to limit Georgia's passing game, I think that we're going to be put in a really good spot. Another thing that I forgot to mention about the offense, yes, I did mention be able to take your deep shots and everything and get the ball down the field quickly. But for those drives where you need to let the defense have a rest and everything, just feed the ball to Kevin Harris. Like, he's the #1 leading rusher in the SEC right now. He is by far the biggest surprise that us Gamecocks have received this season. Do me a favor, guys, Gamecock fans. It's Thanksgiving. Do me a favor and go hit up my merch in the store. I got some Carolina merch that I know you guys will love. It's Thanksgiving. It could be a Christmas present or anything. These shirts are only $15 right now, so definitely do not be afraid to take advantage and get one of those today. I'm just trying to get out there, and I want to create merch for you guys. I love designing, so I'd love to see you guys with the designs. And I'm not trying to run up the prices. Like, only $15. It's not that much. I'm not trying to make these shirts $30-something. I'd rather sell more than make more profit, just because I like people wearing my designs and stuff. Obviously, I do need some money to be able to produce this stuff, but I'm not trying to drive up the prices crazy. So definitely get one of those. But back to what I was saying, run the ball with Kevin Harris. Do not be afraid to do that. Our offensive line has been playing great in the rushing game. Kevin Harris has been playing great in the rushing game. Even Deshaun Fenwick. Don't take away credit from him, because he's had a very good season for the Gamecocks in the backfield. My prediction for this game, obviously, I said my keys: be able to hit the deep ball a few times, win the turnover battle, run the ball with Kevin Harris, and get pressure on JT Daniels. Those are my 4 keys to this game. My score prediction, I've already released this before. I have Georgia winning this one 38-31. In my opinion, this is going to be an offensive shootout. I think Georgia's defense is very banged up right now and injury prone, and our defense is very banged up as well. So the offenses are going to be able to take advantage of this game, but I do feel like it's going to be the Georgia Bulldogs in a lot slimmer of the game. The spread right now is 21.5. I have this being a 7-point game, but I do have Georgia winning. I just have to be honest. Georgia is the better team in this game. They are 9th for a reason, but Bobo is going up against his former employer. You have that in-state rivalry of Georgia players going at it. It should be a very exciting game and another night game at Willie B. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Like down below, comment anything about the Gamecocks, and thanks for watching, and come back next time.